What's up, guys? Welcome back to Latin Chopsticks. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, guys, as you know, there is another storm coming here to Orlando, to Central Florida, well, to Florida in general. And it's, you know, we had to do a little bit of changes, a little bit of adjustment, just so I can get this video out on Sunday on time. So the storm's supposedly gonna hit in the next 2 days, and I just wanted to get this done and so you guys can see this place that we're gonna go to today. So we are gonna move the Colombian restaurant over up to next weekend again. So hopefully next weekend we can go to this Colombian place. With that said, do not be disappointed, because today we're gonna be going, in my opinion, to the best empanadas that you can have here in Orlando. So the place that we're going to be going to is a place that I've known for a very long time, and once I tell you guys the name, it's kind of funny because it doesn't sound anything extravagant or anything like that. But the place that we're going to is called Snack Cafe. Now, this is a small Venezuelan bakery that offers arepas, empanadas. It offers like the national Venezuelan dish, which is called pabellon, which is plantains. I believe it's like shredded skirt steak with rice and beans, and then the beans have some delicious Venezuelan cheese on it. However, today I want to focus mostly on the empanadas, because hands down they have the best empanadas out of all the Venezuelan and Colombian restaurants that I know here in Orlando. And they have so many different choices that you can have with the empanadas. You have, you know, ground chicken, ground beef, shredded chicken, shredded beef. You have the pabellon, which is, as you guys know, I don't know if you guys remember, it is my favorite type of empanada because it's the Venezuelan national dish, all inside of an empanada, which is amazing, with the exception of the rice, of course. But yeah, we're definitely gonna go to this place. I am starving. We're actually gonna be able to head there semi-early, which is a change for the channel. I mostly do videos at night or late in the afternoon. So I am excited to show you guys how amazing and delicious this empanadas are, and just know that they also have like coffee, drinks, and a whole bunch of other options. But my focus today will most likely just be empanadas, unless I see something else that grabs my attention. But with that said, I am starving. I want to have some delicious breakfast, brunch, I guess, because of the time. But I will see you guys there. All right, awesome, guys. We are here. We made it. I'm super excited. We ended up ordering a lot of food. I think way too much food because I'm on my own today. But we ended up ordering 5 empanadas. We got a cheese empanada, chicken empanada, a ground beef empanada, a carne mechada empanada, which is shredded beef empanada, and the pabellon. So I'm gonna take a bite out of each so I can show you guys the fillings, show you the sizes and things like that. They're pretty big. Not only that, but we actually ended up getting our typical Venezuelan breakfast, which is, oh, well, you know what? I don't even want to tell you guys. I'll show you once the plate is out. But this place has been around for a very long time. I ended up getting a coffee with milk as well to kind of, because this is, it's still a little bit early. It's about 11:20, 11:30 in the morning. And, you know, we want to make sure that we get a good meal in. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the different dishes. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the breakfast. Now keep in mind, they do have lunch here. They do have club sandwiches. They have a bunch of options, and I can only show you a fraction because I can only eat so much. But I hope you guys like it. I'll see you guys when the food comes out. All right, guys, awesome. So the food's out. At least the empanadas are out, so I'll show you. I really like the way they do things. I can't wait, man. I'm super excited. I've been craving empanadas for a while. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to eat all these. The good thing about this place is that the empanadas are made to order. About 80% of the places here in Orlando, they'll have pre-frozen empanadas. They just deep fry them and they're all set. Here, they try to make them from scratch because they can't make as many orders as they get every day. It's so, like, they get so many orders, they can't stipulate exactly how much they will have to make in advance, so they just decide to do them fresh. So I will show you guys. Look at these empanadas. All right, guys, you guys gotta take a look at these. I mean, yes, they're shining and they're glistening. I do have to get some paper towels, but they were nice enough to kind of label each one. Now keep in mind, Venezuelan restaurant, so it is in Spanish. So this is molida, basically it's ground beef. This is the pabellon, which is the only one that's not labeled. This right here is, I believe, de mechada, which means this is the one with the shredded beef. This right here is Q for queso, which means this is the cheese, and P for chicken, which is the pollo. So these are all of them right now. And then the guy was nice enough to bring me sauce just now, and then he's also bringing me that delicious café con leche, which I cannot wait. All right, guys, we're gonna get ourselves some napkins. We're gonna get ourselves a little bit of sugar for this, and we're gonna have One of the most amazing breakfasts that exists. All right, guys, excellent. So first things first, let me get some napkins because these are very freshly made. And then we're gonna take a sip of our coffee. So I'm gonna grab some napkins here. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and grab this. Muchas gracias, mi pana, te lo agradezco. We're gonna get the ground beef. Oh my gosh, you guys gotta check this out in a second. It is so soft and crunchy, like the outside skin, that just grabbing it started causing it to crack a little bit. But I'm gonna get a little bit of sugar. I am already, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Let's try a sip. Oh man, nothing beats Venezuelan coffee, man, I'm telling you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a bite, and then we're gonna go ahead and check out the inside. These are extremely hot, so be careful when you come. Oh my god, I could never not get tired. Check this out, and then I'm gonna explain something to you guys. All right, look at how stuffed it is. Now, of course, it is all falling to the bottom because of the way I'm holding the empanada, which is normal, but you have this delicious, you could see like the herbs, the spices, you could see the ground beef, you could see the oil coating the inside of the empanada. Well, the good thing, and in my opinion, the reason why I love Venezuelan empanadas is the dough tends to be a little bit sweet, so it ends up kind of balancing out the saltiness of the inside with the flavors of the dough from the outside. Just makes it this amazing bite. All right, go ahead. The ground beef is delicious. It's not dry, but it's not super oily like most other places. It's not an excess amount of moisture. And you get this just perfect seasoning and perfect bite that just mixes really well. You get that slight crunch on the outside. Delicious, semi-sweet dough with this flavorful, meaty middle. Now, of course, this is the bottom of the empanada. We're gonna go ahead and finish this one because if I try to put this one in a bag or try to put it away, everything's just gonna fall out of it anyway. All right, guys, excellent. So the next one we're gonna try out is the carne mechada, which is basically the shredded beef. This one, hopefully I could just take a bite and I'll show you guys the inside and we'll move on to the next one because I really want to show you guys, I know this was an empanada episode and I will show you all the empanadas, but I also want to show you the delicious plato criollo from Venezuela that I'm gonna have while I'm here. But let's go ahead and take a bite into this one. As you guys can see, this one is completely stuffed to the brim. It is flavorful. You see the oil in there, but not super oily. Good quality meat. You still have that semi-sweet dough, but this is extremely packed, even though I'm holding the empanada like I was holding the other one. So it's packed really well and tight, so it's not, you're not getting an empty bite when you bite down. I'm gonna go ahead and take another bite after I put some sauce on there. So let's see if I can try to do this with one hand. I don't think I'm gonna be able to be honest. I'm gonna try some of this delicious sauce. I don't know what this sauce is. This is a house sauce, but I do know that I'm gonna try to kind of stick some sauce in there. Let's go ahead and grab this real quick. And we're gonna go ahead and try that delicious bite. All right, guys. Oh my God. This sauce, I might ask if I get a chance what it is, but it's a little bit vinegary, it's a little bit spicy, it's a bit creamy, and it's kind of that vinegary part aspect of it. It might just be the spice of it. What ends up doing is it cuts through the richness of that meat, so it's not overly rich, and just really tones down and balances the flavors, man. Oh, I love empanadas, guys. It's nice to be able to relax and stuff, especially when during such stressful times with storms coming. We just had our last one less than 2 months ago, so. All right. I want to save the best for last. That's the pabellon. We'll save that one for last. Let's go ahead and move on to the chicken empanada and then the cheese empanada, which is my wife's favorite. So we're gonna try the chicken empanada next. Feels really hefty, really heavy. It's not as hot as the other ones because it wasn't as like packed in with all the other empanadas. There's only 2 and it's already cooled down quite a bit. So let's go ahead and take a bite. Check this out. Super flavorful. Look at how that juicy that chicken is on the inside. Unfortunately, same thing as before, it's fallen down quite a bit. But look how juicy that chicken is. Look at the juices in there. You don't have to worry about having dry chicken. It's delicious in flavor. You can taste like the pimentón, which is like the peppers. You could taste the chicken. Oh my God. I'm gonna have one more bite because this was delicious. All right, guys, so this is the fattest looking one, and it probably has the least amount in it. The reason being is because it's cheese. Once it's frying or boiling or whatever, or once it's frying, I'm sorry, a lot of air gets trapped in there and expands, and it doesn't really absorb it. It doesn't have anywhere to go, meaning there's no holes, so that means there's no cheese that got leaked out. But this one's kind of gonna be careful. I'm gonna bite the tip so that hot air that's inside can come out, so I don't get burned. Oh, but you guys gotta check this out. So if you guys look in there, the cheese is all over the bottom and it's coated all over on the inside, so you're not getting that annoying like empanada where all the cheese just starts rolling down the bottom because of the consistency of this cheese. Now of course I'm sure if I hold it long enough like this, it will start sliding down, as well as the juices will start coming down from the cheese itself. But we're gonna go ahead and try this out. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. There's something about Venezuelan cheese. I know I'm Venezuelan and I'm most likely biased, but in all genuinity, well, I don't even know if that's a word, but genuinely, Venezuelan cheese is some of the best cheese I've ever had in the world. And I've been to a couple countries, not all of them, but I've been to a couple countries, and it's just some of the best cheese I've ever tasted is there. The cheese is like, imagine like a saltier version of mozzarella and consistency. So the consistency is like mozzarella, maybe a little bit thicker than mozzarella, so it like melts a little thicker, a little more creamier, but it's also salty. It's usually pretty high in salt, but it's such a good balance between the creaminess and the saltiness that it's just this perfection. And that is exactly what Venezuelan cheese is. The last one's my favorite one, is the pabellon. Hopefully we can take one big bite so you guys can see all the toppings, because I am starting to get pretty full. I mean, half of 3 empanadas and then 1 whole empanada. I'm pretty dang full, but I really want to show you the breakfast. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and pack this up. Now, out of all of them, this is the heaviest one. I would almost say that this is like 1 to 1.2 pounds, around there, but you guys got to see what's inside this thing. Oh, this is my favorite empanada. Unfortunately, the bite I took might not give it justice, but there's plantains, there's beans, there's cheese, and then there's a little bit of rice, as well as the carne mechada, which is the shredded beef. This is the best empanada for me personally, and this is my favorite one. It's the most filling, it has the most diverse flavor. You know, you get that delicious texture from the beans, you get that delicious flavor from the meat, you get this amazing sweetness from the dough, you get the sweetness from the plantain, you get the richness and oilness from like the oil and the richness from the meat itself, and then the rice just kind of adds on another layer of like contrast of textures when you bite down. But this is one of the best empanadas in my opinion that you can get. All right, guys, so this is el desayuno criollo. This right here, you have your delicious empanada. I mean, arepa. Jesus, I've had so many of those that it's just too much. But this is their arepa. It's cooked on a griddle mostly, an iron cast griddle. And that's where you get the best flavors, and then you stick it in the oven. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so this is as I was saying, this is a desayuno criollo. You have some delicious black beans. You have that delicious Venezuelan white cheese. You have 2 eggs, sunny side up, well done. Of course, you can get them any way you want. I kind of like them well done myself. And then you have this delicious, flavorful carne mechada. You can see the juices, you can see the red peppers, you can see the green pepper. Oh man, it's just a pack full of flavor. You could grab all that and put it in the arepa and eat it like that, but I'm gonna have a little bit of everything. Let's try it all out. Let's see how good it is. But this is the best, guys. Honestly, the eggs, a little too well done for me. My own fault, I asked them like that. But I love eggs, man. It has a little bit of salt on the outside, kind of adds to the richness. A flavor from that cooked yolk. Oh, you get that balance of saltiness. I'm a salty person. I love the saltiness on food, so. All right, so we're gonna try a little bit of this meat. Bottoms up. One thing I didn't mention, the meat is so tender. Even though it's shredded beef sometimes tends to be dry, and that's why they cook it in like a lot of juices, like ropa vieja for Cuban food. But It's so soft. It's so tender. It's so easy to get a spoonful or a forkful. You get this beans, some of that delicious cheese. The beans are a little plain, which is good because the cheese is so salty that they need to be plain or else it'd be overwhelmingly salty. You got the arepa, you get like a small piece of it, or you could open it up and fill her up. Get a little bit of the beans, the cheese, a little bit of the meat, and a piece of the egg. That's a big bite. Bottoms up before I drop the cheese. All right, and bottoms up before we lose it again. Now do keep in mind, you can cook the eggs any way you want. He said, you know, sunny side up. He said, well done like this. He also mentioned if I wanted them like all mixed up, like scrambled eggs. So you have the freedom to choose. The point is, guys, that this place not only has all this amazing, delicious food for breakfast, but they also have an amazing lunch menu. I wish I could show you, but I came here too early and they don't bring out any of the food, any of the lunch items. So hopefully if I start walking over there, I'll kind of start recording and see if I can see any. If I don't record it, it's most likely because they don't have it out yet, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to go out of my way to make them bring all that stuff out when I came so early, especially because a lot of people are already getting prepped for the storm. Since we had the storm not even 2 months ago, as I mentioned before, everybody's a little bit more on high alert now because a lot of places flooded. A lot of places flooded here in Florida. And here in Central Florida, there was like record flooding from like ever. So with that said, you know, some of the drainage and things haven't really fully recovered, and this storm is supposedly going to bring a ton more water again. So, you know, my blessings to anybody that's out there that is also in Central Florida or in our area or in the area of where the hurricane's going to first make touchdown. Please stay safe. Hope your family's safe. I'm going to go ahead and eat a little more of this, but I'm probably going to just take all this to go and eat it later. It's just way too much food. I will, however, enjoy my coffee. Oh, it's delicious, man. I wish I could make that at home. I make pretty good coffee, but I got to ask them what roast they're using. Like what type of beans they're using. With that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you liked the video. It's not what I had originally planned, but the storm kind of maybe forced me to change my plans a bit. With that said, you know, stay safe out there. If you're not in Florida, you know, enjoy, and I'll see you guys next week. And until then, let's just keep on eating.